Good afternoon. Welcome to this meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety. Good. Okay. Good afternoon. Welcome to this meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety for the City of Huntington on June 16th, 2025. Calling the business meeting to order, we'll begin with a roll call.
Mayor Strick,
Present.
Danielle Albertson,
Present.
Megan Bonbrick is absent, Anthony Lesnikia.
Present.
Thank you. Having established a quorum for the conducting of city business, and moving along to our first item on the agenda regarding the minutes of the previous meeting of June 2nd, 2025. Is there a motion to bring the minutes to the floor for consideration and adoption?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the June 2nd minutes. Seeing or hearing any, we'll call the question in favor of adoption of the minutes as submitted. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and the June 2nd minutes are adopted as submitted. I believe we also have June 16th executive session minutes as well for consideration. Is there a motion to bring those to the floor for adoption?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the June 16th executive session minutes. Call the question in favor of adoption and approval as submitted. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Under new business, we do have a special event request today from Huntington North for their cross-country meet, as well as two different special event requests. Okay, well, first one we have is from the high school regarding the cross-country events on August 23rd and October 4th. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second.
Jeremy Markham is the athletic director. This is the same map as before. They've done it several years now. And the police and street were requesting extra signage on Stoltz for slow signs and police no parking signs, and Jeremy said that that would be fine. So I told him I would take care of that.
Okay. Anything further from other departments, or are we good to go? All right. Question or discussion by board members? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and the special event for the Huntington North Cross Country Meets is approved. Next special event is a request from 4-H for the fair closure on July 16th to July 25th. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration and adoption?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Christie?
And then Kevin Eppard, we have done this before, where it's the fairgrounds off of Evergreen. So I think they just need, that part is closed off during that week so that they have safe across from the trailers to livestock
Fairly routine and straightforward. Any further discussion by board members? Call the question in favor of approval for the 4-H street closure request. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and the closure is approved. Next item under new business, we have an NDOT street sweeping agreement. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Director Cutress, yours?
It came to me, and then Tim's department handles this. It's street sweeping agreement with NDOT, and then they pay us, and Julie has to send them the notice for getting billed, and then they pay us. So this is the next 5-year agreement, and, or, yeah, 3-year agreement. And, yeah, this is the last year for this current agreement, and then this next one will go through 2029. And it's the same as it has been.
This is for sweeping the state highway? Yeah.
Is that payment rate based on our local fees that are set in our ordinance, or is that based on a rate they give us?
$360 per curb mile, and we have 7.2 curb miles. So it's the $2,592 per year that they pay.
long as we're not sweeping more than we need to. Right.
And then I have the mayor sign.
Further discussion, consideration of the agreement? Call the question in favor of authorization of the agreement. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is a proposal for a stormwater utility rate study. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration and approval?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Mr. Hartberg.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I reviewed the proposal submitted by Christopher B. Burke Engineering LLC to provide the city with a wastewater utility rate study. There were some changes that I worked through with CBB. They were easy to work with, and all the changes have been made. So it is here for your consideration, and I'm just not remembering the total fee. Not to exceed 60,
57.
57.
This as well.
Further discussion and consideration by board members.
Deliverable on that look like.
Director Cutress?
So what this rate study will look like is they'll take a look at the number of residential properties we have, as well as the square footage of hard surface on commercial properties, commercial and industrial, and make a recommendation as to what the stormwater rate would be that we get. They give us a document that we get a chance to review and tweak, but ultimately what comes out of it is a recommended rate that we charge to establish, basically so the city can handle the stormwater portion that is under people's sewer utility portion of their bill, and handles that separately so that we then have a stormwater fund instead of taking money from the sanitary sewer fund to make stormwater improvements around the city, whether it's do stormwater projects or mainly it's stormwater projects or stormwater utility related things. It also would help fund the MS4 program that's state mandated that we have as well.
Thank you.
And the hope, and we'll know further once we get the deliverable, is that the financial analysis will show that this would lower sewer bills for utility users.
How long has it been since we've had a study done?
We've never had one.
Okay.
Further discussion? Not hearing any this time, we'll call the question in favor of authorization and approval of the stormwater utility rate study. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item is an agreement with Duke Energy regarding street lighting. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration and approval?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Director Cutress.
Yes, what I have before the board today is an agreement or proposed agreement from Duke Energy for the addition of 2 streetlights, one on Gregg Street and one on 500 North, with the completion of that trail up there. And driving that area at night, it is fairly dark, so we thought the addition of a couple of streetlights near the intersections would help improve visibility for both pedestrians and the vehicles in that area. One of the streetlights would go onto existing pole. The other streetlight would require the installation of a new pole and some wire to serve that pole. The total monthly fee, including the way Duke Energy's agreements are, is they take the installation costs and they spread it out over a 10-year term in this case. So we pay for the energy usage as well as the maintenance of the pole and the installation costs over the next 10 years. And then after that, it becomes energy only. But the initial term is $53.76 for the addition of 2 streetlights up in that area. Tim and I have been working with Duke to figure out how to get a couple of streetlights up there, and we finally got to this point. So it'd be my recommendation that the board authorize the mayor to sign this agreement so Duke can install a couple of streetlights for us.
Further discussion or questions?
Where are they going again?
One's going to be near the intersection of 500 North and Stoltz, and the other one is going to be near Gregg and Stoltz. So specifically in these darker areas at the intersections.
Cool.
So,
Further discussion or question? Not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of authorization of the Duke Energy Lighting Agreement on recommendation. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is long-term control plan change order number 6. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration and approval?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Director Cutters.
yes, this is change order number 6 for the long-term control plan. This one incorporates a couple of significant changes, a couple of water valve inserts that we needed to do and chose to do on the project to help segment our water supply system so that we could shut the main off more efficiently if we ever needed to. And then the other one was a change to CSO number 10, which is at the intersection of Jefferson and Market Street. This total change order is a net decrease of $113,240.92. So it's a savings on the project in our favor in this case. So it would be my recommendation that the board authorize the mayor to sign change order number 6.
Further questions or discussion? Not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of authorization of long-term control plan change order number 6. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is city building renovation CMC agreement with Hagerman Construction. Is there a motion to bring that to the floor for consideration and authorization?
So moved.
Second?
Motion and second. Director Cutters.
Yes, if you remember back a couple meetings ago, the board approved the selection of Hagerman as the construction manager to construct the firm we're going to use on the remodel of this building. They have now provided their agreement for the pre-construction services, which is their phase of the work where they work with the architect and the city to look through the plans, come up with the best and most efficient way to make the remodel happen, and provide cost estimates throughout this process. Their pre-construction service fee is $8,300. And then the next agreement will be an addendum to this that moves into the construction phase of things. But right now, this agreement only covers the pre-construction services. Mr. Harburg has reviewed this agreement, and it would be my recommendation at this time that the board authorize the mayor to sign the agreement with Hagerman for pre-construction services.
Further discussion or question by board members? Not seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of authorization of the pre-construction agreement signatures. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is an agreement with Baker Tilly for debt analysis on the basis of City of Huntington and fiscal analysis for consideration of a new fire station. Is there a motion to ratify the mayor's signature on this agreement?
So moved.
Second?
Is there a second? Motion and second. So for the board's purposes, this is to bring in Baker Tilly to help us with analyzing the fiscal plan to go forward with the financing for the city fire station. To get them going on it already last week, I went ahead and signed, and so it does require board authorization and ratification of that, though. And so we're bringing that to you, but this is key for us in the next step forward with the fire station. So questions or discussion? Okay. Not hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of ratifying the signature. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, in our public hearing regarding 1321 Gay Street. We'll open the public hearing at this time. Are there any members of the public here to address the board regarding 1321 Gay Street? Seeing or hearing any members of the public, we'll close the public hearing and move along to consideration of the order of enforcement. Is there a motion to bring the matter regarding 1321 Gay Street to the floor for consideration and discussion?
So moved.
Second?
Motion and second. Commissioner Paul.
Good afternoon. The owners of that property are Kenneth Black III and Kenneth Black Sr., 1321 Gay Street, Huntington, Indiana. Time of the inspection, there was no one present, so the inspection was done from the exterior only. The order of enforcement was issued on May 27th, 2025. There were 13 unsafe violations, 12 minimum housing violations, and 16 corrective measures for compliance. The deadline date on the order of enforcement is June 26th, 2025. I have had no contact with anyone in regards to the property to date.
Recommendation just to uphold the order of enforcement?
Yes, it is.
Further discussion or question by board members? Commissioner Paul, what attempts have you made in trying to contact them that they've been unresponsive to?
We had sent the notice of inspection, and then the order of enforcement goes out certified and regular mail.
Does it seem to be owner occupied, this property?
From the time I'd done the inspection until after the order was issued, the one vehicle, the truck, is now pushed back in the garage. So somebody's been there. Neighbors told me they see a lot of activity, people coming in and out. They're not sure if anybody's actually living there or not.
Further discussion or question by board members? If not, is there a motion to affirm the order of enforcement?
Yeah, I move to affirm the order of enforcement.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the motion? Seeing or hearing any at this time, we'll call the question in favor of affirming the order of enforcement. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Not aware of any items, miscellaneous items for the good of the order then. Is there a motion to authorize payment of the bills incurred by the city of Huntington?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration? All those in favor of authorizing payment of the bills of the city of Huntington, incurred by the city of Huntington, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Finally, is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good week.